Breaking down Estacado sports. This is the Matador Fan Zone podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Good Monday evening. Welcome into the High School Fan Zone on the first Monday of February. I'm Randy Rosetta. This is 100.7 The Score on Fox News Now if you're watching us on TV. We got a lot to talk about tonight. We got a lot to talk about this week. Before I forget, we're going to have tonight's show. We're going to talk mostly basketball, a little bit of soccer at the end. But Wednesday night, we got something kind of special coming. We're going to call it the Realignment Special. We're going to have the athletic directors from Lubbock ISD, Lubbock Cooper ISD, and Friendship ISD. So that will be Mike Meeks, Max Catwinkle, and Brian Gerlich. And for the whole hour and a half, we're going to break down some realignment stuff because today was, I may ask January what this day is like for coaches. It's not like Christmas morning because sometimes you get stuff you don't want on realignment day, which I think a lot of the 5A coaches will talk about. But it is for the first time since I've had my website and since I've been back in this area, this is the most change that's hit the Lubbock area in realignment by far. And part of that's because Memorial's open, Liberty's open, and it's created a whole different dynamic. But we're going to talk about that for basically the whole hour and a half on Wednesday when those three gentlemen join me that night. Tonight we're going to talk, like I said, mostly basketball and soccer, and we're going to jump right in and talk with Jay January. I'm going to have him introduce his players here in a minute. Estacado Lady Matadors basketball, which took a loss the other night, Friday, against a very good Liberty team, number 12 ranked Liberty. But Lady Mats are right there in the playoff hunt. After the game, I started looking at stuff, and you don't like to lose, Jay, but it didn't do anything to take you out of where you guys want to get. So right. Let me have you introduce your two young ladies here real quick.
To my right, I have Danielle Perez. She's a junior. And then I have Aaliyah Hennings. She's a sophomore.
And that's the other thing that struck me. I was just telling your girls or I just said that to you. What struck me is as I was looking at your roster is you guys are so young.
We are.
This is just the beginning. You're I don't know if realignment's like Christmas morning for you. You may have a lot of Christmas mornings when you realize that you get to coach a lot of these girls for a while yet.
Yes, yeah. And then we have a good group of 8th graders that are going to come in.
Wow.
So I'm pretty excited for the future. But, right now we're still worrying about this season and, trying to make an impact in the playoffs and do our best and continue to keep growing.
Well, in the standings, Liberty and Memorial tied for the district lead. They've both lost one game to each other. Memorial's actually played one fewer game. I think they catch up this week. I think Liberty's off later this week. And then you and Leveland are right there together with 4 losses. You've got Leveland one more time, correct?
Yes, correct.
And both games with them have been right down to the wire.
Yes.
So there we go. There's some hope. You're right there. Big Springs off the pace a little bit at 4-6. So I think you have them left as well.
No, we've already beat them twice.
We've already beat them twice. Okay. And then Snyder and Lakeview are kind of bringing up there. You guys are right there. You're right. You've got a chance to, and you got it. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I looked this up when I was thinking of the boys' game the other day. You guys would be, in this scenario, you would be a big school.
Big school. At this rate, we'll be big school number 2.
Okay. Because in your district, it's really easy to remember. Memorial is going to be the big school no matter what.
Yep.
Liberty is going to be the small school no matter what. It's you two in the middle that kind of fight it out. So, girls, I asked how the boys were doing because they lost a tough game to Liberty, a little bit tougher than you guys, in fact. Daniele, how were things coming back after the loss Friday when you guys you practiced today? What was the frame of mind for you guys?
It was more about just going hard, repping it out, making our mistakes and learning from them. But yeah.
What about you, Aaliyah? You're still a young pup. You're still getting used to this coming back from losses and all that. What was it like to get back out there on the court and kind of work the blahs out a little bit?
Today was a lot about being aggressive and getting at it. Not exactly working hard because we always work hard, but just trying to do the right thing.
So I was at your game. I actually was there to cover the boys' game, but I wanted to see you guys play. And, Jay, I didn't think your girls played poorly. I thought you ran into a Liberty team that has found its you probably need, if Jason Cooper was coming on here right afterwards, I'd imagine you might want to kick him in the shins because when they beat Liberty, I think they
lit a fire in them.
Yeah, and they've been really good since then. So I didn't think your girls played bad at all. What did you think of how they played against Liberty?
Like I said, like Aaliyah said, that was the focus in today. We play hard. We always play hard. Just a matter of limiting our mistakes. First half, we were right there with them. Second quarter kind of hit a lull. We didn't hit a field goal. They hit 2 field goals. So I mean, it was a defensive battle, but second half kind of got away from us. And like you said, Morgan's got them girls playing hard and playing well. They were fired up, but we just got to capitalize and play smart.
And I've watched basketball for years and years, and I've always said this, that you don't have to hit shots to win. You can win without shooting the ball well. Sometimes you have to hit a few shots.
Hit a few shots.
I think if my stats were right, I had you 7 out of 40 shooting.
Yes.
That's hard to overcome.
17%. It was tough.
Yep. And Daniele, when that's happening, do you know? Can you feel that shots aren't going down, or do you try to put that in the back of your mind and think, now let's just keep doing what we need to do, and a shot will start to fall here?
That's what we try to do. I mean, January's always keep telling us your shot's gonna fall. Just keep playing. But it does get to us sometimes, and then when it gets to us, that's when stuff starts to go downhill. But we got to remind ourselves that our defense is our offense, and they're going to fall eventually.
Exactly. And let me look at my numbers here. I trust my stats most of the time. I've done this a few times in my life, so I can. Let me see. Turnovers. Liberty had 13, so you had some chances. But that, for you guys, you probably want that in the 20s,
right,
to kind of do what you want to do. And to full credit to Liberty, you guys shot the ball poorly, but their defense had something to do with that.
Yeah, absolutely. They were playing team defense. They were moving around, active hands. They were long, blocking shots. They did a really good job defensively.
Reagan Wren was kind of has been their defensive spark plug, and you're a guy who's a basketball coach, and you know who Danny Wren is, and you know that he passed on some genes to his young daughter there, so she knows how to play basketball a little bit. Coming up on our first break, we're going to come back and talk more Estacado Lady Matador Outdoor Basketball on the High School Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score.
Diving headfirst into Estacado athletics, you're listening to the Matador Fan Zone on 100.7 The Score and the 100.7 The Score mobile app.
Welcome back in to the High School Fan Zone. I'm Randy Rosetta. We are on 100.7 The Score, Fox News Now. We're talking Estacado Lady Matadors basketball. 5-4 in district, so you've got 3 games left.
Correct.
2 this week. You go on the road to Snyder, which Snyder struggled a little bit. So when I'm texting to get scores for my website, I text their football coach a lot. And you can tell he's very invested. He'll talk about the girls. He'll give me a little report. Really, all I want's the score at that point. But it sounds like they're going through some growing pains. So that's a good chance for your girls to kind of get back on track. And then you come back home, another big home game on Friday night at Estacado. Memorial comes across town. You get your second chance at them. I asked the girls what practice was like today. What did you see from them today that encourages you that they're not going to let that kind of be a hangover for them?
Today, I'll be honest with you, all we did was defense. We did defense. We worked on, denying. We worked on being a help side, the rotations. That's all we did was defense. We'll get back to shooting, but I feel like if we play better defense, if we lock in defensively, that can make a difference in the game.
Danielle, you're a shooter. Both of y'all. Okay, here we go. You ready to blush a little bit? I was at the game the other night, and Aaliyah came off the bench, and she gave you guys some energy. She was out there. All of a sudden, you could kind of sense things speeded up a little bit. Is that do you kind of feel like that's your role, Aaliyah, to come in and bring a little jolt of energy?
Yes, I actually do feel that way.
And I don't know that I've got it right here in front. I was going to say I don't know that you scored a bunch. Unfortunately, nobody scored a ton for you all the other night. But just the way you you mentioned one thing Liberty's got is they've got length and they're very fundamentally good. They're not necessarily speedy. Mm-hmm. And I thought that she came in and bothered them a little bit, especially in that second quarter. And I mentioned to you that you guys didn't score a bunch, but neither did Liberty. It was a very low-scoring quarter, so you did your part to kind of keep it close. What did she do to kind of give you guys a lift?
So Aaliyah's our spark off the bench defensively. She could fight through screens. She could move her feet. She's fast. She has active hands. And so we try to use her, to get in there and change up the speed when she gets in defensively, just put pressure on the ball, and hopefully that can create some mismatches for us.
My grandma would have called you a water bug. Because you just come in, it's like you're sitting on top of the water and you just go all over the place. Mm-hmm. Daniela, you're a shooter. Coach mentioned that y'all didn't shoot much today. Is that good to just not think about it for a little bit, or did you shoot a little bit over the weekend? Yeah,
I shoot on the weekends, and after this, I'm going to go shoot a little more. So it's good, not always having to shoot, because I can work on my defense while I'm at school, and then out of school that's on me. I need to fix my shot. I can do it by myself. It's very helpful.
But you're a good shooter, and you don't want to. I know coaches don't like to tinker too much, especially in the middle of the season, because they don't want you to want to get up here.
Yeah. They
want you to understand that you can hit shots. How confident do you have to stay when you have a night like the other night?
Yeah. It gets to me, but not really. Like, when I need to hit big shots, I'm gonna hit big shots when it's needed. And for us to be in the game, I'm gonna hit my shots and not overthink it.
The other girl who caught my attention, and she shot a lot, was Johnson.
Kalani.
Mm-hmm. She shot a lot. Now, again, nobody made a ton of shots, but she didn't back down. She attacked the defense, which I'm guessing that's what you need her to do.
Yes, and she knows a couple of those girls, so she has no fear. She's played against them over the summer and things like that. But just needed her, to kind of be aggressive, put some pressure on the defense. Just kind of wish she would have hit up a couple more shots than she did.
I've met a lot of coaches who probably would say the same thing after just about every game.
Yeah.
And I think when she was on here before, she identifies as a guard, right?
Right. She thinks she's a guard, yes.
Yeah. But you probably need her to do some other non-guard things, because she's able to do some things inside that you guys need, because you lost the girls that they had last year that took up some space.
It's funny because after the game, Kalani said, I'd rather just get in the paint and, set picks and post up, let the other girls shoot. I'm like, Kalani, you've done this your whole life. You're a shooter. You're able to shoot the ball. Just because you have one, poorly shooting game doesn't mean you need to stop. But she was quick to shy away, just say, oh, just let me post up, let me get rebounds, let me set screens, and let the other girls shoot and score. I'm like, Kalani, that's not you. Let's just get back in the gym and get focused, and things are going to come back around for you.
Yeah, I will say this about your team in general. I don't think you don't have a lot of wallflowers. You don't have a lot of girls who are shy, as I've gotten to know them in different sports. Even my friend Aaliyah here, who I made blush a couple of times. You guys, you need that personality, because you don't want players who don't want to kind of stick their nose in and make things happen.
Yeah. So I told the girls the other day, this team is like no other team I've ever had before. I told them how much I love them and appreciate them, but just all the personalities that they have, and it just brings the team together. Just everyone's different. Everyone brings something positive to the team, and we just kind of ride it.
Well, and they have work to do this week. 2 games at Snyder, home against Memorial, and then one more next week. They're chopping wood, trying to make sure they get to the playoffs. That's going to do it for the Matador Fan Zone. We'll be back after this break in the Plainsman Fan Zone right after this on 100.7 The Score.